Shri Govinda Gopinath Madana Mohan.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
And here, that's another name also. We'll hear about that in a little while. But meanwhile, here we have it gets in the springtime, it gets a little tiny burgundy colored fruit that is very favorite of Krishna and Balaram and the cowherd boys. But this particular pilu tree, because just inside here is the Bhajan Kutir of Biswanath Chakravarti Thakur. And he used to sit here and do his bhajan, and this pilu tree, they used to tell him all the pastimes of Radhakunda and Shabaka. So that is not ordinary pilu tree. And you can see just now the buds are coming. In the springtime then the flowers will come, and in the late spring the little fruits will come. Somehow he's managing to survive, although the monkeys tear him apart at everything. This is a very special pilu tree. So now we'll go inside and hear about this place here. It's also fixed up by our Parmananda Babaji. Radhe, Radhe. Ram Shraddha Das Prabhuji, a very wonderful rendition of Ohi Vaishnava Thakur.
Can you turn the microphone?
Oh, sorry. We're sitting here at the Bhajan Kutir of Srila Raghunatha Das Goswami. And this is the original Bhajan Kutir, we'll hear about it in a minute. This Raghunatha Das, somehow he got free from his family life, although he was so wealthy we can't imagine. His father and his uncle, they were collecting 20 lakh rupees a month when a rupee used to buy your groceries for a week. So we can't imagine the wealth that he had, greater than the King of Heaven. And he had a wife more beautiful than Apsara. He left everything and ran to Puri and surrendered at the lotus feet of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. After he got the mercy of Lord Nityananda at Panihat. So he stayed in Puri with Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. It was either 16 or 18 years, I can't remember just now. When Mahaprabhu left this world, he was so stricken with sorrow, he decided to come here to Braj, climb on top of Govardhan Hill, throw himself down head first, and suicide. So somehow he got here to Braj, and when the other Goswamis found out what is his plan, especially Sanatana Goswami said, I already tried that. We know Sanatana Goswami, he wanted to throw himself under the wheels at Rath Yatra. He didn't tell anybody, but Mahaprabhu said, Sanatan, this body is mine, not yours. I have a lot of work to do through this body. So if we have taken Diksha, that means this body belongs now to our spiritual master. So besides being very great sin, suicide, you're also creating a Guru Aparad. Just take shelter of the Vaishnavas, chant Hare Krishna, and whatever problem it is, it will go away. Everything, even the miseries of this world are temporary. So they convinced him this is not a good idea. So he stayed in Vrindavan for some time, and then he wanted to come to Radhakund. They said, you please take Krishna's Kaviraj with you, because you're totally in ecstasy, so many things may happen, so you take him with you so he can take care of you. So he came here and stayed on the banks here of Shamakund, and was doing his bhajan. Now you see this big painting, that picture inside the Samadhi of Raghunatha, you may have seen. This is a big rendition of that picture. That one day he was chanting and doing his bhajan. He's not paying any attention. You see on this side of the painting, those who are on that side you can see, the two tiger and tigresses come to drink water from Shamas. And you see on the opposite side of the picture, Krishna is standing there giving protection. And at that time you also see Sanatana Goswami is standing there. He was doing his bhajan at Manasi Ganga. He came that day. He saw this whole scene. He saw the tiger and tigress leave, walking right by Raghunath Das, who was just chanting and not paying attention. When the tiger and tigress went away, then Sanatana Goswami came and said, hey, what kind of bhajan are you doing? You're chanting Hare Krishna, Krishna, let me serve. And you don't pay any attention. Tiger and tigress has come. Krishna is standing there guarding you. Now what type of bhajan is this? So he promised to be more careful in the future. So another day, it was in the summertime. Some of you are thinking, oh, it's so hot now. This is nothing. This is spring. We're actually autumn now. Summertime, I have seen up to 50 degrees in the summertime. Mostly around 45, but sometimes I've seen 50. They say only mad dog and Englishmen go in the noonday sun. And Raghunatha in the noonday sun, he's sitting and chanting, not paying any attention. And you see in the picture, Radharani's holding her palu, the part of her sari, over his head to shave. That time again, Sanatana Goswami came, as you see in the picture. He saw this scene. She's holding her palu like this, so he can see her choli. Her choli is all wet. She's sweating and sweating. And then Radharani, she saw Sanatana Goswami. She smiled and disappeared. Then Sanatana Goswami said, what type of bhajan are you doing? This is nonsense bhajan. You're chanting Hare Krishna, the Radha Krishna that we serve, and Radharani standing here shading you from the sun. You're not paying attention. It's hot sun. You see all the dirt behind him, all the dust had become wet, and Radharani's footprints were in the dust. He saw those footprints. He fell down on those footprints. And Sanatana Goswami says, look, if you can't take care of yourself properly, you build a bhajan kutir and you do your bhajan inside a kutir. So bhajan kutir system started from here. This is the original bhajan kutir. And you see the picture. And Raghunath Das, his bhajan was just like lines on a rock. Just like if you see the lines on a rock, you can scrub and scrape, they don't change. He was very strict in his bhajan, chanting 300 names of Krishna and paying obeisance to 1,000, paying 1,000 obeisances to Krishna, paying obeisance I think 1,000 Vaishnavas, eating, sleeping very little, just like lines on a rock. Not like me. If we go to a late program, we go to Bombay and everybody lives late at Bombay. We come back to the temple, 11:30 at night. Oh, all right, I'll sleep in tomorrow. Not like that. His bhajan was like lines on a rock. And he was only taking a little bit of buttermilk. In Braj, to make butter, we don't take the cream. We take the whole milk, turn it into yogurt, and then turn it into butter. What's left over, that's the real buttermilk, not like you buy in the store. Yeah? Real buttermilk. Very good for you. So he was just taking a little leaf cup. He had one servant named Das, one Brijvasi named Das was his servant. And he was concerned, he's only taking a little leaf cup of chach. How will he survive? So he's herding his cows around Govardhan. He came to a place called Sakistali, and he saw the same tree was there that they make the leaf cup out, but great big size. So he made a leaf cup from those leaves. The next day he brought it to Das Goswami. And Das Goswami, he looked at this big leaf cup. He was very curious. He was just looking like that. Just like one time we gave one umbrella to Srila Prabhupada, you push the button and boop, boop, it opens up. Then Prabhupada would push it into the ground, it would close up again, and just like a little child, Prabhupada was looking. So Raghunatha, like a little child, he's like, Das, where you got this leaf cup? He said, well, I was herding my cows and I saw this big tree in Sakistali. Immediately Raghunatha threw that cup to Sakistali. That is a place of Chandravali. Don't you ever bring anything from Chandravali's place. Because Raghunatha Das, he was the Ananya Bhakta of Srimati Radharani. So we saw this. One time, we just heard he only took a little charge. One day he had an upset stomach. And Vittalnath, to have a nice relationship, the son of Ballabhacharya, with Raghunath, he brought his two Ayurvedic doctors. And they felt his pulse, and he said, he's eating too much sweet rice. And Vittalnath said, impossible, he only takes a little buttermilk. And Raghunath put his head down, he said, well actually, in his bhajan, in his mind, in his Siddhadeha, he was, the Sakis engaged in making sweet rice. And then they fed that to Radha and Krishna. And afterwards, they just keep giving more and more and more. Like you've ever been to Indian's house and they feed you, they just don't stop, more. So they just fed him and fed him and fed him. He had upsets. That was in his siddha deha, but in his material deha, the symptom came. Very amazing pastime. Another time, Raghunath Das was thinking that in the future, so many devotees will come here to Radhakund to take darshan. There's no proper gods, no proper everything. There was hard, like we said, it was just paddy fields. So there's no proper kund, no proper gods, no proper anything. He thought, if I got some money, then I would fix up the kunds. Then he thought, oh my God, I'm thinking about money again. If he just heard he had opulence greater than the king of heaven. So he took long, quiet, for several days. Meanwhile, some businessman, he went to Calcutta, from Calcutta, he went to Badrinath to give a big donation there. In the night, Badrinath came to, Lord Badri Vishal came in his dream. He said, don't give that donation here. You go to Vrindavan, you find out Arita ground, you find out Raghunath Das Goswami, and you give that donation to him. So somehow he made it to Vrindavan. There wasn't Indigo Airways in those days. And there wasn't a Vrindavan Welcome Center to rent a taxi to come to Radhakund. Somehow he got to those days of Rityagram. He found out Raghunath, and Lord told him in the dream, he said, if he doesn't take your money, you tell him Lord knows your desire to fix the coins. So he came to Raghunatha and he said, I have got a big donation for you. And Raghunatha said, wherever you came from, you go back. He wasn't like us. As soon as we hear big donations, say, yeah, give it here. The Prabhupada said, not one farthing for sense gratification. He said, no, Lord knows your desire to fix the coins. Then he realized it's for Krishna's seva. So immediately he said, yes, you immediately fix up the Radhakund and Shamakund. So they began to work and they made Radhakund. You saw very completely straight and rectangular. Because our Radharani, she is very Side, she's very simple. We say Bodhi Gopi Radhe Radhe. Bodhi means very simple, very straight. But you see, Krishna Kund is very crooked. Krishna is very crooked fellow. You know why he's crooked? Just like, don't do this. But anyway, to catch a fish, you need a hook. It's got a little piece on it that goes like that, a little barb, crooked. So the fish bites, it goes in but doesn't come out. So like that, our Krishna, he's very crooked. He will easily go into your heart, but you will never get him out. So anyway, they made a plan to make it very nice and square also, like Radhakund. And there were some trees in the way of doing that. So they marked those trees, in the morning they were going to cut them down. So that night, Giriraj came in a dream. Yudhishthira Maharaj came in a dream and said, myself, Bhima, Nakul, Sahadev, Arjun were all doing bhajan in the form of trees on the banks of Shamakund. So please don't cut any tree. In the morning you will recognize us. So he came in the morning and he saw all the old sadhus told me this. You just see, I watched it dry up before my very eyes. It's a huge stump of a neem tree. Now there's all this bougainvillea growing over top of it. But all the old sadhus who told me that was beam. And all the others, they also dried up. That last one I watched dry up with my own eyes. So he told them not to cut the trees, so they had to make Shamakund a little crooked like that. That's why you see it's not straight. And one is thing of pastime here, what was it? Oh, so Raghunatha, he was using this water of Shamakund for all, brushing his teeth and other types of things that we have to do in the morning. So he thought this is not a good idea. So there's an old well, we'll see that well. Now they started calling it Gopi Kua, but the ancient name of this place is Gopua. So he decided to re-excavate that well and use that water instead. So they hired some workers, they were digging, and there was some rock, they hit the rock with their digging instrument, and blood came out. And they ran to Raghunatha. That we were digging, and some rock is there, we hit that rock, and blood is coming, we don't know what is the thing, and Raghunatha, all right, we'll stop the digging for the day, I will come in the morning and see what is the thing. So that night, Giriraj came in his dream and said, they've hit my tongue. Because this Radhakund and Shamakund, according to Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur, these are the eyes of Govardhan. Kartik said me to tell something else, but anyway, we followed Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur. So tongue must be not far away if eyes are here. So that's my tongue. You put it in a temple on the bank of Shamakund, and with water from Shamakund and Tulsi, you worship. So we'll see that tongue of Govardhan in a couple of minutes. Anyway, there's so many things we could say about Raghunatha Das, but we have many places still to see. As I said, this is next door. Later, Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur came here and did his bhajan here, so this is his bhajan group here. You all know Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur, right? What song he wrote, we sing every morning? Everybody says samsara prayers, right? Samsara means this blazing fire of material existence. Do we want to sing to samsara? This is not samsara prayers. This is Gurvastikam. 8 prayers to the spiritual master to free us from samsara. This is Gurvastikam. So this is his bhajan puja here. And we don't have room for all of us to go, but just outside this back door, we'll go there, but we can't talk there, so we'll say everything here. This is the Bhajan Kutir of Srila Krishnadas, Kaviraj Goswami. Because like I said, the Goswami told that you need someone to take care of you, and other thing is, you witnessed all of Mahaprabhu's pastimes, later pastimes. You have memorized the notes of Sword of Damodar. So Krishnadas, he's going to write this Chaitanya Charitamrita. So you have to give him all that information. Krishnadas Kaviraj considers that Raghunatha Dasa is his spiritual master. So he told him everything he knew about the later pastimes, because earlier pastimes are very elaborately described in Chaitanya Bhagavat, but not so much the later. So they wanted him that you stay with Krishnadas. So Krishnadas Kaviraj stayed here. There was some argument with his brother who had faith in Chaitanya but not in Nityananda. And Lord Nityananda's good devotee, Niniketa Ramdas, was singing. So there was some argument, and Krishnadas was upset. And in the night, Nitai came to his dream and said, "You just go to Braj." So he left and came here to Braj. He just left in the morning. We don't know anything about Krishnadas. He didn't write about himself. He just only to show the mercy of Lord Nityananda, he reveals this pastime. That Nitai told me to leave and go to Braj. So what he was doing, whether he was a businessman or whatever he was doing, we don't know anything. So he came here, and the Goswamis all asked him to write about the later pastimes. And so he wrote, in this Bhajan Kutir we're going to visit in a minute, he wrote the Chaitanya Charitamrita in this place. And this Chaitanya Charitamrita, even from mundane point of view, it is extraordinary piece of literature. If you study Bengali literature, you have to study Chaitanya Charitamrita. It is a rare thing, because he has written everything very simply, but at the same time describe the deep philosophy of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Because ordinarily, if you describe deep philosophy, then everybody falls asleep. And if you describe very flowery language, then it gets all flowery and flowery. But in very simple verses, the beauty of Mahaprabhu is revealed, and the deep essence of Gaudiya philosophy is revealed. If you study Bengali literature, even from a mundane point of view, you have to study Chaitanya Charitamrita. So that was written here in this place. And this Bhajan Kutir, when I first came here, was cobwebs filled with dirt. Then somebody came and he had some money, so he got this place fixed up. They came to us, they came to me actually, and said that we're remodeling it, and we want to. There was one Baba in Radhakund, in his bhajan, he saw a vision of Krishnadas Kaviraj writing Chaitanya Charitamrita. And that Baba was a painter, artist. So he painted that painting. We want a copy of that painting to put in the Bhajan Kutir. So that time there was a very nice disciple of Giraj Maharaj named Kartik from South Africa. She was not most of the devotees from South Africa, Indian descent, but she was Dutch descent. She was Afrikaner. One of the very few Afrikaners who became a devotee. And she came here at the end of her life, and one of her last services was painting a picture of that, making a copy of that picture. And you can see in any artist's picture his style, but she's completely copied the style. If you see the original, you see this one, you can't tell the difference. That was her last service. So this place here is where Chaitanya Charitamrita was written. Jaya Jaya Sri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda Jaya Jaya Sri Chaitanya Chaitanya Charitamrita ki Krishna Kaviraj Goswami ki. So is the door open there? So we'll go everybody keeping left, go in by the left, take darshan. Kaviraj for the rest of his life. He's begging me, please send somebody. I'm too old now to do all this. So if you want to dedicate, spend the rest of your life.
Hare Krishna.
Radha Govinda, they were originally established in Vrindavan. There's a huge temple. Maybe you'll see tomorrow. I don't think you'll get that far. But not tomorrow, next day. But later when the Muslims attacked, and he moved here to Radhakund and stayed here. From Radhakund he went to Kamivan. From Kamivan he went to, now he's in Jaipur. So because he stayed here, they made these very beautiful deities of Radha Govinda here. Samari is still there. Samari is still there.
Shri Govinda Gopi Madana Mohan